Hey Jeff,
Hey, Jillian, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much. So you're still where are you now? You're in Montana, right?
Montana, yeah, Bozeman, Montana, for
Jeff
one
is
more
on
day.
a trip.
I am, and it's particularly fitting because what we're talking about today, right, is ways to relax without having to take a long trip.
Well, I know. So today's Saturday segment is all about relaxing. And honestly, in this time of coronavirus, I think all of us have had a little more stress in our lives than we would like. I know many people who've had their vacations canceled, which of course is one way that I like to relax. So we're gonna get right into it here, and I'm moving some things around so I can see what I'm doing. So the 10 ways to relax that require 10 minutes or less. Well, it'd be nice to take that long vacation, to Hawaii. All these trips to Hawaii have been canceled. Our trip to Hawaii has been canceled. My friend Nancy's trips to Hawaii has been canceled. I've seen other friends' trips to Hawaii is being canceled because they have this 14-day quarantine period. So you, Jeff, figured out how to go on vacation within the United States and still have a good time. But some of us can't go on vacation now. And so we need to find other ways to relax and just to relax throughout the day. So the very first way, and one of my favorite ways, and one of the ways I make my kids relax, is to meditate. Jeff, do you meditate?
Well, I don't call it meditating, but people have told me what I do is meditation, right?
Like, for
So,
example?
well, I mean, when we talked to your friend Marissa about sleeping, I talked about how I used to like to stare at my alarm clock and blank my mind completely and see how long I could go without having a single thought, which is a form of meditation, I think. Transcendental meditation is very similar to that, clearing your mind completely. I didn't call it that, I just did it. And then the other thing is prayer. I think prayer is very similar to meditation. And I try to do that at least as regularly as I can.
Exactly. I pray throughout the day, but I oftentimes have times where I just meditate, and I do all kinds of different meditation depending on what the kids want to do. Yeah, I let the kids lead because I want them to like meditation, not hate meditation. So we do transcendental meditation sometimes, which, if you don't know what transcendental meditation is, it's when you have a mantra and you say the same mantra over and over and over again. Usually the mantra means nothing, but you can have guided meditation, just sitting there and, like Jeff said, blanking out and trying to control your mind. But there's also another type of meditation, which actually brings us to number 2, which is control your breath. And I do this with my 5-year-old, where I have him, if he's getting really upset, have him breathe in deep through his nose and out through his mouth. And you might be saying, well, Jillian, you're teaching us stuff that you teach a 5-year-old, but if it's good for the 5-year-old, it's good for all of us.
Well, and it's not just good for 5-year-olds, right? I think maybe people have heard this, and I haven't verified it, but I've heard many times that one of the things that they teach in Navy SEAL training is breathing control and using your breath to calm yourself under stressful situations.
Yeah. And so that's exactly what we do, is breathe in through your nose, slowly out through your mouth. As a matter of fact, guys, if you want to go back and watch Marissa Wilkie's yoga video that's in the Last Life Ever group on Facebook, she actually teaches you a really cool breathing exercise that will totally help you learn how to control your breath when you're in those stressful situations. So another great thing to do is to count your breaths, or count as you breathe in and then count as you breathe out. So another thing you can do while you're sitting there meditating is you can visualize a peaceful scene. And you don't even have to visualize one right now, right, Jeffrey?
Oh, well, I'm in a hotel room, and it's not the most peaceful place I've ever been. There's kids running around. It's a weekend. But listen, I don't visualize. This is something that I take issue with. I've shared this before, I think, in the group, but many people probably don't know this. But I'm aphantasic, so I have no ability to visualize. I have no internal imagery at all. So I don't visualize, at least not in the way most people understand visualization. If I want to think about a peaceful scene, all I'm really doing is thinking the words audibly in my head for that peaceful theme, which would be like, hey, I'm at a beach, this is fun. And that doesn't really work as well as like actually seeing a beach. So visualization is kind of a bust for the 1 in 50 people that have aphantasia like myself.
You know what though? What you can do, and what one of my kids likes to do, is to put on YouTube, and you can find any number of, scenes that you can watch.
Completely agree with that, and I do that sort of thing sometimes. But the thing about these 10 tips, and this is obviously premature, is that you don't have to do all of them. You just pick out the 2, 3, 4, whatever it is that work really well for you, and they'll release your stress, and then you'll be in good shape.
Absolutely. And then the other one is something I'm going to do actually as soon as we're done with this podcast, which is spend time with your pet. I like to take my dogs for a walk at night. They love it. We love it. It's very relaxing. It's my time to kind of just chill out and forget the day's worries. So pets, to me, pets are an incredible blessing. I have 2 rescue dogs. And they're good little pups. They're not always the greatest little pups, but they love me unconditionally, and they don't talk back to me like my kids do.
Right. No, I agree with that. I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't speak to that, but I do love my pets. So I have 3 dogs. 2 of them are very old, and that causes me some stress. But when I'm just hanging with them, it's okay. It's when we're trying to do some of the things they did when they were younger, it can be stressful, but for sure, just spending that time is very calming.
Something I also like to do is number 5, and it's mostly because I'm a chatterer and I have to talk a lot, is talk to a friend. So oftentimes, although I will say this about friends, you don't want to be dumping on them all the time. No one likes that friend who always has a problem. So, I would say that this is really important to reach out to people. I'm learning this more and more every day, but there's also the problem of being that friend who's constantly complaining about something. So I would use this. I would use this one with caution.
Yeah, I think that's right, actually.
Thank you. The next one you can do, so I'm combining our number 4 and our number 6, is you can take a short walk. A long walk's always better than a short walk, but if you only have 10 minutes, take a little walk and breathe out, count your breaths while you're walking if you don't have a pup to walk with.
Right. And, taking a walk can be really useful, even a short one. Obviously, long walks are better, but, you can even combine 4, 6, control your breath, 2, right? So 2, control your breath, 4, pet time, 6, take a short walk with number 7, and then you'll be super stress-free.
Yeah, which is listen to music. Music has an amazing ability to alter one's mood. I mean, you guys, like this one is huge for me because, oh, look she heard the WALK word. She knows how to spell. So listen to music. I mean, we are constantly listening to music in my house. My husband, of course, is a musician, and I've done a lot with music. So music's really important to me. Hey, get off that couch, girl. So yeah, I think music's a great way. You're not a huge music person though, are you, Jeffrey?
No, but I do agree with this. I mean, so my thing about music is when I do feel a change in my mood from music, right? There's some songs that when I hear them, they make me happy or energized or excited. And so I do think this works really well. What I don't do is just regularly listen to music. It's not a high priority for me. But when I do listen to music, I do get some mood enhancing benefits from it. So I think this is very good.
Sure.
And like I said earlier.
Now this one's gonna sound really weird, but believe it or not, there's scientific evidence to show that chewing gum has been an effective reducer of cortisol, which is the primary stress hormone, and you can blow bubbles. And it can amuse you, and it just lowers your cortisol levels. So keep a pack of gum in your car, keep a pack of gum in your house. If you're feeling a little stressed, go out for a walk, and this will show you that you have skills of walking and chewing gum at the same time.
Right. Well, yeah, and then you can have like 7 of the 10 things all combined at the same time. But
right.
I will tell you this, I listen to music a lot more than I chew gum. I can't even remember the last time I chewed a piece of gum, but I think I'm going to get some for the airplane tomorrow just for fun.
Awesome. Okay, so next one, sit outside in the sun, relax for a few minutes on a nice day, enjoy the sun. Obviously, this is easier to do somewhere like where I am, which is sunny California. So we can do this quite often. As a matter of fact, during this time where my children have had corona and they started getting into moments of depression, and I knew that they couldn't really be outside walking, not just because they were little germ machines, but also because it would just wear them out, I would throw them outside and make them sit directly in the sun and soak up some vitamin D.
Yeah, no, I think it's really good. I mean, there's definitely positive mood enhancing things. I know that every time I go outside, and by the way, it doesn't even have to be like warm out, right? Like if you go outside on a nice snowy winter evening, right before the sun sets and watch the sunset and you feel the warmth on your face, it's an amazing experience. And it's, that's just about slowing down and absorbing a little bit of time to yourself.
Now, the next thing I'm going to say is going to sound really strange because it sounds like you're going to be dwelling on things, but I have a caveat to this. The next one is write down everything that worries you. Now, why would you want to do that? Doesn't that mean you're dwelling on it? Well, one way to be less stressed and anxious is to write down everything that's bothering you. Get it out of your system. Get it down on paper. By externalizing it, you often find that things aren't quite as bad as you thought. And what I want you to do after you write everything down is speak some words of gratitude. I have had probably the worst 3 months of my life. I'm not joking. I'm being very personal right now, but like the coronavirus has not been good to me on more than one level. And I will tell you that having an attitude of gratitude and looking around and realizing all the things that I'm blessed with has totally and completely and utterly helped me with that, along with a good dose of prayer right after.
So I will tell you, I think that, if you worry about things a lot, writing them down can help. It doesn't always help, but it's like anything. If it helps on the margins, it's worth doing. But the thing for me is, if I'm worried about something, like I think something is going to, particularly certain things, like I think I'm going to forget about something, or, there are certain types of worries that if you write them down, it almost immediately eliminates what's going on in your life.
Yeah, so we have some comments here, and I want to read those comments. And if you guys have any other ways of helping us know how to relax, please write them in the comments. They're only going to serve to help those who are watching this right now or who are going to watch this on the replay. So we would really love to hear your ways to relax. Just write them in the comments, because that's what this community is all about, is about helping each other live the best version of their lives, whatever that may be. So one Facebook user says, I love to close my eyes and visualize laying on my back on the floor of the ocean, looking up at the sun's rays through the kelp with all the fish and just the water flowing back and forth. That sounds amazing, actually. I'm going to try that. The next time I do something where we are, where I'm doing visualization. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read this when my kids and we do meditation, not every night, but most nights before we go to bed. And I'm going to have them visualize this and put some ocean sounds on for our meditation tonight. So that's really,
that's a great idea. And that's why the next time I go scuba diving, I'm going to lie on my back on the floor of the ocean and look up at the sun. And then that'll be the best way for me to visualize this.
Oh my God, that's such a good idea. All right. So Joanne is just saying, hey, y'all. Hey, Joanne, how are you?
Hey, Joanne.
And Carrie just wants to tell us that these are good tips, much appreciated. And finally, Miss Clemens says the way she relaxes is reading while laying in a hammock.
Wow, and that is very relaxing. Now that's number 11. So everyone go out, do some meditation, control your breath, visualize, spend time with your pet if you have one. If you don't, you can borrow a friend's pet, right? It doesn't have to be your own. But when you do that, you're going to have to talk to your friends, right? You're going to take a short walk over to your friend's house, let's say. I'm doing this all off the top of my head, by the way, guys, just so you know. I'm lying. I have it written down in front of me. Then you're going to listen to some music on the way home while blowing bubbles and chewing gum. Then you're going to sit in the sun. You're going to write everything down, and then you're going to read in the hammock. Got it? That's what we're going to do. And that's going to only take 10 minutes. So you have 45 seconds to do each of these things.
So guys, that was our 10 ways to relax in less than 10 minutes. We took 15 minutes to tell you about them, but hopefully you go out and you find some good things to do. Jeffrey, have a nice trip home, a safe trip home. I want to say thank you everybody for watching. And if you have anything else for us about relaxing, just put it in the comments below. And remember everyone to live your last life ever.